Hey guys, it's Nina. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday, happy December. So a couple weeks ago, I posed a question to you guys on the community tab, and I asked you guys what was one thing that you wanted to work on before the end of the year. And the overwhelming response was self-love. And so I wanted to talk about self-love and its connection to Locs because it's been a very deep one for me with my Locs on this journey. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that bell so you know when I upload. And yeah, let's jump into it. So I've talked about on my channel how I had tried pretty much every hairstyle that there is, and Locs were kind of like the final frontier for me. But one of the reasons that I started Locs was because I didn't feel a sense of independence with my hair normally. Growing up, I was not good at doing my hair. It was either my mom, my grandma, my stepmom, somebody, my sisters, somebody doing my hair. I never knew how to do it. I was not skilled in the area of beauty and self-maintenance and all that kind of stuff. I was a bookworm. That's what I focused on. And otherwise I looked a hot mess. Even as I got older, I was always kind of relying on somebody to help make me look polished and put together. Now, as I got older, I did learn, some simple styles. I could flat iron my hair. I used to do a ton of curls, but I still was very dependent on others when it came to my hair. Starting Locs really gave me independence. It really gave me the confidence to be able to do my hair myself. And it was really because of YouTube as well that I learned so many tips and tricks from people like Keisha Charmaine, Jasmine Rose, who doesn't have Locs anymore, Bronze Goddess 01, who's now Life Coach Sean. There were just several women who I learned so much from and really gave me this foundation for being able to do my hair myself. Someone started my Locs, but I maintained them the entire time myself. I was overseeing their growth and development and evolution. And there was something really empowering about being able to do that, being able to take over my head and not have to wait to get on, one of my sister's schedules because they're hairstylists. And this is not about devaluing salons or anything, because salons are extremely valuable. But for me personally, I needed to get to a point where I was self-sufficient when it came to my hair. And ultimately, starting Locs, growing them myself, maintaining them myself, gave me the confidence and the courage to do that. And so by not being at the mercy of others all the time when it came to my hair, it gave me this sense of pride of ownership. This is something that I accomplished. And a huge thing that I learned from that process was self-trust. The ability to believe that I could go through this process, believe that I would be all right, believe that I could maintain my hair myself. And I got a lot of questions about it. Why didn't I just get them sewn in versus starting from scratch? So it just really taught me how to rely on myself, taught me how to trust myself and believe that I could do this, believe that I could have the results that I wanted. The length that my Locs are at now, this was a fantasy for me a few years ago. I used to save pictures of people with their Locs in my phone, and their links would be like here or here, and I could not wait to reach that link. I talk a lot about how I cut my Locs, so they would have been even longer than they are today. I feel like when it comes to self-love, it's really about what we do. It's about the actions that we take that support a sense of love. We start from a place of inherent worth and inherent value. I am enough just because I'm here. I'm enough just because I exist. There's nothing else. There's no other qualifiers. I'm a human being. I'm valuable. You start from that point, and your actions really say a lot about how much you love yourself. And I think being able to deal with difficult situations, being able to make your own choice and say, this is what I'm doing with my hair. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who has opinions about it. I don't care. Being able to do that, being able to take on this challenge and go through this period of transformation and discovery, I feel like that is essential to self-love. Sorry guys for the abrupt shift. My lighting is a little bit funky, but self-love is not about how you look either. It's not simply posting a beautiful selfie. It's not your body. It's not whether you gain weight or lose weight. It's not how long your hair has grown. It's none of that. I used to do photo shoots all the time. They made me look great, and I didn't love myself at that point, no matter how many pictures I took of myself. You know, when we talk about romantic love, we talk about it being a verb. It's an action. It's something you do. You're loving every day to the partner that you have or your family. And I think when it comes to yourself, you have to do the same things. What are you doing to show yourself every day how much you love yourself? Do you trust yourself? Do you listen to yourself? Do you challenge yourself? Do you allow yourself to go through these stages of challenge, journey, discovery, transformation? Or do you shrink back from challenges? Are you still thinking about what everybody else is saying about what you should be doing? And that's why I'm such a huge advocate for going through the journey from scratch versus just getting the Locs installed. There's something that's happening within that time that your Locs are developing. You're spending time with yourself. You're working with yourself every day to accept what's happening. For some people, like, it's a piece of cake. For others, especially if you've dealt with your hair a long time and you always just kind of struggled with it the way that I did, it can be a lot more challenging. So related to that, I also feel like a lot of times people don't realize how much they do love themselves based on what they've already done. I felt like I really got to the point that I loved myself when I started making difficult decisions that were best for me. For example, in 2014, right when I started my Loc journey, I was 28 and I used to be obsessed with bread. I loved bread. And in 2014, I had a piece of bread and I felt like my face was gonna explode one day. And that was when I had to go gluten-free. And you know, you can debate gluten or whatever, but the point is my body started to react to something. I felt it, it was real. And I had to make changes. I was in an extremely toxic relationship that I felt was love, and it was such a mess. And so I got to the point where I had to admit to myself, this relationship is preventing me from loving myself properly. I can't be myself. I can't express myself. I go to bed every night anxious and just pissed off with myself, frankly. I can't do this. Being able to notice what's hurting you, notice what's bothering you, notice your pain, and make changes to save your life, that is such a huge part of self-love. You know, if you drink something and you feel just crazy sick every time, stopping it is self-love. It's evidence that you value yourself, evidence that you want to be better, evidence that you're not going to let yourself suffer. So it's like when you get to the point where you can push yourself, you can challenge yourself despite what other people say, and you can remove yourself from situations that are dangerous to you in any way, shape, or form, a relationship, something you eat, something you do, anything. Those are signs that your self-love is there or it's growing. You know, if you're struggling with self-love right now, ask yourself, what have I done? Like, actually make a list. Think about the courage that you've had to start Locs. Think about the toxicity that you've cut out of your life. Think about, you know, anything that you've done to challenge yourself. That's evidence that you do love yourself, even when you feel like you don't. A lot of times we're just constantly moving and going and not really reflecting on what's happening in our lives. If you feel like you don't really have those experiences to reflect on, that's when you have to say, okay, what can I do now to support self-love, to develop it, to grow it, to nurture it, and to carry it with me everywhere I go? Who do I need to cut off? What do I need to stop looking at? What do I need to stop telling myself? What should I start telling myself? If you're listening to this and you haven't started Locs yet because of someone else's opinions, what is it gonna take for you to overcome that? No, I got really long. I know this is kind of long and roundabout, but the point is, going on a Loc journey teaches you so much about yourself and about what you're capable of. And that is, to me, the core of self-love. Being able to stand in a place of worthiness, knowing that you're enough and knowing that you can face a challenge, knowing that you can deal with something despite what anybody around you says. Along those lines, I have a really exciting thing that I'm doing and something that I have always wanted to do. And so this past week, I actually did a little pilot version of it, and that is life coaching, specifically self-worth and self-trust coaching, because those are areas that I have had just an amazing amount of growth in. So much of my life in the past several years has been a reflection of the work that I've done on myself. And so I want to pass that along to others. And I'm really happy to say that I got a lot of really great feedback. It's mind-blowing to hear that I've lit something, that I've helped ignite the spark in someone for them to really go after what they want. If you're feeling like self-love is a struggle for you, if you're feeling like self-worth is a struggle, if you're not really trusting yourself, or if you find yourself in situations where you let others speak for you and you're not seizing the challenges that you want to in your heart, what I'd like you to do is send an email to thegirlbookbynina@gmail.com. I will get you on the list so we can set up a time and talk. I will have more details about the official program next month in January. This is just a pilot program. So send me an email and we will get the ball rolling. So that's all for this video, guys. I'm wishing you lots of self-love on your journey wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye.